Hey, good afternoon. So I thought I might sit outside and do a little bit of teaching since it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So hope you can see. I guess I'll check it in a little bit to see if this doesn't come across very good. But anyway, I think we had gotten to early childhood. I hope you're keeping up somewhat with your schoolwork during this time period. So, because even if you don't do it now, we're going to have to do it at some point. So, really try to take a little bit of time every day and learn and just stay focused on your schoolwork because this is going to end and then we'll be getting back to normal, some sort of normalcy at some point. Probably life won't ever look the exact way that it did before because I think we've learned a lot through this process. I hope we've learned a little bit about what's important in our lives. And so anyway, I don't know. It's all yet to be determined, but I'm not sure that Thanksgiving will ever be the same as far as people bringing food and hugging necks, and I don't know. I just don't know what that's going to look like. But you are welcome to give a comment as to what you think or, how things are going on with you. But anyway, let's move forward into early childhood with growth and development. All right, so physical development so this is after age 1. So things slow down. It is slower during infancy. There's skeletal and muscle development helps a child begin to look more like an adult. So legs and the lower body they get really long legs, and then they may not have their head, arms, and chest may still be smaller. They do start having more muscle coordination after kids start walking, sometime between 9 and 15 months, or 9 and 18 months actually. Then they'll start running, climbing, and moving freely. Their finger muscles develop. They are able to learn how to write in early childhood, write, draw, use a fork. All of those things are starting. So you have the large muscle groups developing, but you also have the smaller muscle groups developing also. So 2 to 3 years of age, most teeth have erupted. The digestive system is mature enough to handle most adult food, so they're able to eat mostly table food, okay? Hopefully, if the child doesn't have any allergies, they can eat just about everything. Most doctors do recommend waiting until at least 1, or actually I think 2, before allowing peanut butter, because it's such a highly allergic food, peanuts are. No honey until they are over 12 months of age. And that's because honey it's a natural food, but it has a bacteria that can cause botulism. So as your digestive system gets more mature, you're able to handle that. It doesn't cause us any trouble. But because the digestive system of an infant is not colonized yet with other bacteria that'll help them handle that, it can be deadly even to them. 2 to 4 years of age, children are learning bowel and bladder control. And like we talked about with the stages of development, the Erikson's theory, that's the really big thing here, is learning autonomy, or to be autonomous and using the restroom in other areas, but the restroom is a big issue. All right, mental development. 2-year-olds have a really short attention span. Those of you that have ever babysat, you probably know this is absolutely true. They are interested in so many activities. They're not just interested in, one thing. I mean, but it's like squirrel, they go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. They're very, very busy. They do begin to remember details, though. So if you change your earrings, like if you wear a certain pair of earrings all the time and then you change those earrings, they will probably notice that you changed those earrings. They're starting to begin to understand concepts at 2 years old. They're starting to understand cause and effect. There is a certain time period with babies that, everybody that's ever kept a child or maybe been around children, they'll drop their sippy cup, and then you pick it up, and then they drop it again, and then you pick it up, and then you drop it again, and then you pick it up, and then you get tired of picking it up. And well, at early on in development, when something is out of the child's view, it is gone. And I don't mean like gone, like missing. I mean like it doesn't exist anymore. They don't have an understanding that things out of their viewpoint still exist. They're just, it just fell on the floor, for example. Like they really think that it's gone forever. And that's one of the reasons that they, will cry so much over a toy being, hidden or whatever. And it's as, we play these peekaboo games and all these things that their brain, and even without them, even without games like that, they start to put together, oh, wait a minute, that ball or that sippy cup or that toy or whatever is just behind the person's back. It's not gone forever. But a young baby, they might just be shocked, if you take something out of their view, and then bring it back, because in their mental development, they don't understand that it's not completely gone. So by 2, though, they definitely understand that concept, and they're starting to understand more concepts. 4-year-old, they ask frequent questions. Why? And they're just very curious, and that's a total normal mental development. They are recognizing letters and some words, and they start to make decisions based on logic rather than just trial and error. So they start to think, okay, the last time I did this, this happened. So I'm not going to do it again. The last time I stuck my hand on the hot stove, it burned really bad. So they start to put those things together, more cause and effect, starting to think logically. All right, by 6, they are very verbal, and kiddos this age, they want to learn how to read. They are very hungry for knowledge. They want to understand, want to know how to do certain things. So very exciting time for normal 6-year-olds, and I use that word normal, kind of loosely. You may not see this in a child that has a major health concern, because their development may be delayed because their whole purpose and world and everything about them has been focused on this health concern. So their memory has developed. They make decisions based on both past and present experiences, as in, this person was mean to me last time we played, so I don't want to play with them now. But kids are also very forgiving and give people another chance a lot. All right, so emotional development. We're going to look at this one in ages 1 to 2, and then a little bit further up, all the way through early childhood. They do have a self-awareness and effect that they have on others. So so at this point, the child knows that they are separate from the parent. Okay, they know that there are 2 different people there. And they're starting to figure out the effect that they have on others. So, when I cry, it makes mom do whatever. Limits are usually have to be established for safety. This is where, safety proofing the house or child proofing the house. Anger or temper tantrums are common if the desired performance is not accomplished. So if you want a cookie and I say, no, you can't have a cookie, it would be a very normal thing for a child of this age to throw a temper tantrum to try to get what they want, okay? And so if the parent gives in to that temper tantrum, then the child learns, oh, well, that's what I do when I want what I want. So it's super important to not give in to those things, because ideally a parent doesn't give in, then the child stops that behavior because it's not getting them anywhere. Unfortunately, a lot of parents do give in to that, and no parent's perfect at that, and so sometimes those behaviors can carry on into past 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it also depends on the temperament of the child. 1 to 2-year-olds really need a routine. They become stubborn, angry, or frustrated when changes occur. This is just part of their normal emotional development. They really need that, get up at the same time, they don't have to have the same thing for breakfast, but they really do need structure. So that gets disrupted when there's a healthcare concern. That structure definitely gets disrupted. And so that can cause them to have temper tantrums or things like that just because, changes are occurring. All right, 4 to 6, they start to gain more control over their emotions. Not everything evokes a major, meltdown. Definitely no right from wrong here. So as far as 2 and 3-year-olds, they may tell a lie. All children lie. They lie to avoid trouble and things like that, but they don't necessarily know that it's wrong. But by age 4 to 6, they know right from wrong in most areas. Now, they are definitely more independent, and they should start to have less anxiety when faced with new experiences because they've had many new experiences during this period of time, during their life. So less anxiety. But, they still have anxiety. Everybody gets nervous that first day of school. But after you've had your first day of 4-year-old kindergarten, then your first day of 5th-year-old kindergarten, then, you're kind of okay. Not that you don't still have butterflies in your stomach, but, because, you probably still have butterflies in your stomach first day of school sometimes. But anyway, there should be less anxiety because they've faced that before. All right, social development. A 1-year-old is very self-centered. It's all about, everything is about them. A 2-year-old, they start to have parallel play. So these kids are probably in their 2s, somewhere between 2 and 3, but you see they're sitting there playing next to each other, but they are not playing with each other. So that's very normal for a 2-year-old. So, we try to make 2-year-olds share. They really don't have the mental, emotional, and social development to share. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't, tell them to share. They do have to learn these things, but it's totally normal for a 2-year-old to not want to share. 3-year-old, this is cooperative play. So they will start to play with each other. Then, they'll play different games, make believe, that kind of stuff. And then by the time they're 6, they are sociable. Now, there's varying degrees of that. Some 6-year-olds are still shy and all that, and but they are sociable to a degree. All right, let me see how much time I have left on this recording. Okay. Not much, so I'm going to stop it right here, and on the next one we will start with late childhood or pre-adolescence.